everyone, welcome to this week's Trimcraft Tuesday video. This week I'm doing something a bit different for me, I suppose you could say. Now, it's not different in that it's scrapbooking, and I do that all the time, but it is different in that it's not my usual style of scrapbooking. I'm quite clean, bright, modern, pastels, that kind of thing for most of my scrapbooking, and I'm doing a very masculine, grungy kind of layout using first edition Perfect Allusion papers. These came out towards the beginning of this year, I would say, and I have done a scrapbook layout with this paper pad, but I don't think I did a process video for it. So anyways, yes, using these lovely papers to create this sort of grungy mix, not very heavy mixed media, but like a hint of mixed media kind of thing going on. So I've started off by doing some stamping with some StazOn ink. I did use that rubber stencil there. Was it called the hound's? No, it's not houndstooth, whatever it is. I've had it a million years, so I won't be able to link it. It came in a grab box in like 2015 or 16 or something. This brick stencil I'm using, however, is the Dovcraft brick stencil. I love this thing. I will definitely link that. It's one of my favoritist stamps ever. And then also on the background, I'm going to do this thing. I realise I haven't talked about my picture yet. I will do that in a sec. But I'm cutting some strips from some scraps I have from this collection, and then cutting those down into little rectangles that are 1 inch by 1.5 inches. And I've cut a load of those. I couldn't tell you how many. I just kind of did it until I was bored of doing it. And then I'm cutting those in half along the diagonal to make little triangles. And what I'm going to do with those is just on one side of the paper, taking up about a third, I'd say, of the layout, maybe a little bit less than that, just kind of create a sort of a diamond pattern with all these little bits of paper. Now, obviously, the scrapbook background is quite a busy one, so they're not like really bright and really grab your attention. They're quite subtle, but I like doing layouts like that where, you know, there's more details to find as you look at it, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, just creating this sort of diamond pattern with all my little triangles. I am going to put Distress Oxide around the edge of every single one of these little triangles in the colour Ground Espresso. It just helps them pop out from the page just a little bit more, because some of them were blending in a bit too much. The browns and greens were popping up, but some of the, not the browns and greens, the blues and greens were popping up nicely, but some of the browns were getting a bit lost. So anyway, Distress Oxide around all of those, and then tacky gluing them all down. Now I've purposely not put tacky glue on the whole thing, so some of them do start to peel up a little bit, but that was on purpose kind of thing, just to kind of get that effect. But yes, I will admit this did take me a while, and I have cut a lot of it out. So yes, it did take a good strong half an hour, probably more, to do all those little triangles and oxide around the edges. Anyway, the picture is of little baby me at 2 weeks old and my late granddad, and I have a series of these pictures. I think family came down to visit at Christmas because I was born about 10 days before Christmas, and everyone took a photo with the baby. So I've got loads of these photos of 2-week-old me in that same outfit, and then loads of close family members. So I thought it would be nice to scrapbook these. But instead of making them about me or making them baby themed, to make them about the person in the picture holding me. So this is the first one of me and my paternal granddad. He passed just over 2 years ago, and he was just an excellent man, an excellent man with the best Geordie accent in the whole wide world. And so yeah, I'm just making this really masculine kind of layout for him, and it is, as I say, it's out of my comfort zone to do this kind of thing, these kind of colours. I'm not the kind of person who generally leans towards the browns and the grungy things, but it is nice to do something different sometimes. So I've backed the photo with one sort of lighter paper just to help it pop, and then I've got various sort of ripped up bits going on behind it as well, and more of that Distress Oxide. I'm going to use the same colour throughout this layout, so anytime I use an oxide on this layout, it is the Ground Espresso, just because, you know, it's nice. Sometimes using different colours is good, but sometimes it's nice to use the same colour because it ties everything in together, especially on a super busy layout such as this one. But yes, there's another random sort of ripped up strip going down there, just, you know, again, to make it a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, grungy or something. Anyway, I'm just chopping off those little edges of triangles that were poking out off the edge of the layout there, and now I'm going to fiddle around with a load of embellishments. Now most of these well, fussy cut from the 12 by 12 Perfect Illusion pad ages and ages ago for other projects. And also some bits were cut on a silhouette, just like random little sort of leaves and flowers and plants and sort of doily shaped kind of things. Those were for another project as well. So I just have this big bag of them, and I'm mostly going to use those to embellish. But I'm also going to use this, I had this cut apart sheet with sort of like a gentleman theme on it. I think it was by Authentique. And it's got this sort of green one that says kind heart, fierce mind and brave spirit. And I really wanted to include that. And I thought that colour green kind of goes really well with the Perfect Illusion papers. So I've cut the journal card apart kind of thing, make it even smaller. And I'm going to include that on the layout. Because as I said, the phrase goes well, the colour goes well, it just all kind of, it goes, in my opinion, anyway. So I'm going to put my photo down now. I've put the bits that I want behind the photo, the embellishment bits, I've stuck those behind ready, so they're already there. And now I'm just going to add little fussy cut pieces, and again, those little bits and pieces that I cut with my silhouette ages ago. I couldn't even tell you what the cut file was, I just, found random plants and whatnot and cut them, and as I said, I've just got a big bag of embellishments to use with this collection. I'm also going to bring in some things from the Dovcraft Lost and Found, that's what it's called, collection here, just for some extra embellishments. I'm using this wooden hexagon frame. I chose to use the green one because I wanted to bring in that green again, using that thing I was talking about before, the phrases. And so I've snapped the frame in half and have one bit sticking out at the top there and one bit sticking out the side, just as well as bringing in the green colour. It kind of adds more dimension and stuff, so there's quite a lot of dimension on this page, just with a bit of wooden embellishments and lots of ripped out paper, really. I did one of those wooden arrows from Lost and Found just because I love them so much. I did tuck it under the photo because it kind of, on top of the photo or the photo cluster, whatever, it brought too much attention to itself. So that's why I've just kind of slightly tucked it underneath, because I wanted to include something. I wanted something else wooden, but yeah, just making sure it doesn't grab all the attention off the page. And I'm going to put my little phrase thing. This is not my title, by the way. It's like a subtitle, I suppose. I'm just putting that down there. Again, distressing the edges so it all ties in together. And I love that down there. I think the colour looks great, and yeah, I'm happy. So I'm going to add a couple of like tiny words and sentiments on the photo. You can see there's a big area of the photo which is just kind of dark. It was probably a wardrobe or something, I don't know, but it usually I would have just cut that off, but I thought it would be nice to keep it and then use the area to put a load of tiny words and sentiments on. So I've got a mix of things. The first thing I put down that says cherish every moment was from a random Simple Stories thing. I've got the Tim Holtz metallic stickers. That wonderful came from the Vicky Boutin sticker book, and I'm also going to add a couple of little hearts from the Vicky Boutin sticker book as well, just because, super cute. My title is quite simple. It's just Hi Grandad, because, this little 2-week-old baby Grace being like, hey Grandad, nice to meet you. And I thought that was a cute title, and I'm not very good at thinking up very imaginative titles. The thickers I am using, I have completely forgotten what collection they're from. I didn't buy them with a collection. I just saw them in Hobbycraft and they were half price, so I just snapped them up because they have an addiction to thickers. So yes, no, I can't remember what collection they're from, I'm sorry. They're just black with gold foiling in the middle. They are chipboard, hence why I'm using the tacky glue to put them down there. And one of them was falling apart a little bit, so I just had to sort of do some thicker surgery a little bit there. But yes, I've put that title up the top there just to kind of, you've got one diagonal going one way with the triangles, but then also a diagonal going the other way with the title, the photo, and then like the subtitle thing down there. So there's kind of, if you really look closely, kind of a cross going on, I suppose you could say. Anyways, I'm shoving on loads of the little gems from Dovcraft Lost and Found, just having those all over the place, and then finishing off with splatters in Heidi Swap Colour Shine. I'm going to use gold and also the tea colour as well. I've tried to find a link for tea because I don't know if that one's still available or not, but I can't find one, I'm afraid. It's just a really nice brown. It's obviously got a shimmer to it because it's Heidi Swap Colour Shine. And then I also go back in with the gold because I decided there needed to be more splobs, that's a word, of gold. I was originally going to go in with a more of a copper tone splatter, but then I realised because the thickers had the gold on it, we had to go with the gold, so there we go. I'm also just adding down the bottom left there December 1989 because funnily enough I don't have a roller stamp that goes all the way back to 1989, so I had to just write it by hand, and the layout is finished. So there we go, bit different from me, but I hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. It's always nice to see different things, I suppose. Perfect Illusion, I will leave links to it. It is a very fun paper pad to work with, especially for mixed media things, grungy, masculine, but I have made a couple of feminine things with it too, so yes. Anyways, enough blah blah blahing from me. I will go. Links as always in the description. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Okay, that's enough. Thank you so much again. Bye bye.